All right, everyone, how about 3 quick cards and a bottom card with me, which we know is going to be about 400 cards. I thought we would pull on the energy of right now. We had some tweets going last night, and I put up a tweet. I talked about this energy. I said, I hope everybody's cool in it, being cool, like Fonzie kind of cool, you know, not temperature cool, because it's a lot going on. There's a whole lot of shifts happening, too many, all at once. We got a lot going on in the energy, not to mention this time of year around the equinoxes, whether it's the spring equinox or the fall equinox. The equinoxes are tricky on the human body, which of course is all energy. Everything is energy. The science or medical profession, whatever, would call it springtime lethargy, for example. Okay, you can transpose the word spring with fall because the equal and opposite reaction happens in the fall equinox. But here in the northern hemisphere, we got springtime lethargy happening, which scientists tend to think it's more of a hormonal balance kind of thing, you know, where it's sort of like in the winter time you can eat a bunch of you need a bunch of calories, whereas in the springtime you need a bunch of vitamins and things along those lines. That's why they suggest for around this type of energy to eat seasonally. Okay, so if it's springtime, you eat spring vegetables, spring salads, things like that. If it's fall, as it is coming up for the southern hemisphere, you eat a lot of root vegetables and heavy pies and things like that. Heavy food to bulk up for the winter. It happens generally, energetically speaking, everything is energy. All right, there's more going on than this, but inside us, the hormones, like things like endorphins, testosterone, and estrogen are released. Okay, a lot more of them are released this time of year, which causes dizziness, irritability, headaches, joint pains, things like that. Make a general feeling of tiredness. What I call within the energy this year in particular is an off-center sort of feeling, where things are changing, things feel weird, you're not sleeping right, maybe you're super tired, you're going to bed like I did last night at 7 o'clock. In the evening. I went to bed at 7 o'clock. I haven't done that since I was about 5 years old or something. I don't even think I went to bed at 7 then. That said, that's kind of what's going on right now. Normally, springtime lethargy is there anyway. And all those hormones I mentioned, that's energy. Everything is energy. Okay? So that's internal energy inside you. But it's being affected a lot right now, this year in particular, with external energies. Okay? And we got Saturn getting used to a new home, second largest planet. I mean, we talked about that on the Saturn reading. We got Pluto real anxious to get into Aquarius. So that's creating, and Pluto's kind of a revolutionary change energy anyway. But we got a lot more going on than that. I mean, we've got the full moon energy, which is still in play. We've got Jupiter doing some things underneath, interacting with various planets and things like that. There's a lot going on. Too many, I would call it, and I called this in a tweet, too many changes happening at once. So if you feel a little off, you feel a little what I call sideways, your perception of time might change. Time might go really slow for some of you. It might go really fast for others of you. You're all snowflakes. It affects you differently. But either way, it's pretty conducive to what would normally happen on the approach of the spring equinox. These energies are generally in play. It's why we call here at my house the month of March, what makes March March. You know, it's always something every year. But generally these energies stretch from about February 20th, in my experience, through about April 20th. So, and with March firmly down the middle. So when we say at my house, for example, what makes March March, we're talking about February 20th to April 20th. Things tend to mellow out a little bit once the sun moves into Taurus around that time. So that said, but right now we have that equinox thing going on. So if you are feeling a little off, a little crazy, things seem weird, time seems to be going funny, either slow or fast or whatever, that's pretty much what's going on. Obviously, if you think it's a serious medical problem, go have it checked out. It never hurts, you know. Hell, my energy advice does not take the place of a doctor, okay? So keep that in mind. But that's pretty much what's going on. It's affecting everybody. Even my wife notices it, okay? And she's not real, you know, spiritually like all this. So keep that in mind. So if even she coming to me going, what's going on with the energy, Steve? You know, it's like, it's crazy to hear her say that, but it is, you know, it is kind of something along those lines. So I've got a pre-shuffle here. We're going to pull on the energy. This is very interesting. Because we have societal energies, right? I always say that the soulmate cycle, any soulmate cycle, is a direct reflection of the current societal energies of the time. We've got a little of that showing up here. It applies to your runners for sure, no doubt about it. So let's get started. Let's talk about this pre-shuffle, where I shuffle before your reading and ask the universe, hey, let's just have a chat. Tell me what's going on here. So maybe this reading puts your mind at ease. I don't know. But at the very least, I'm trying to explain to you, for those that didn't read my tweet string last night, why all this is happening, why you might be feeling the way you're feeling. And if you're not feeling it yet, you will be soon. It will hit you. You're all moving at different speeds on your timeline, so keep that in mind, okay? It affects everybody differently. Like I said, we're all snowflakes, right? It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here or you found Steve Love Tarot, you're here for a reason. Okay, this reading is timeless. Whenever you find it, you're meant to find it. So what's the deal with this pre-shuffle? Well, it starts out with the King of Wands. Keep in mind, before I say this, there's a lot, my opinion, okay, there are too many shifts happening at once. It is creating chaos in the energy. It's creating a lot of chaos. Particles moving fast, like boiling water. It's a lot of chaos in the energy. So keep that in mind. That's it. On the surface, King of Wands, the Burger King, right? The King of Wands energy is societal energy right now. It's very materialistic, right? It's very self-focused, a lot of entitlement, everybody want to be an influencer, nobody want to actually get a job, that kind of shit, that kind of thing, right? Everybody doing that. And, it's funny, a lot of people compare right now to the 80s, and I hate it when they do that. It really pisses me off. Why? Because I was alive in the 80s and I was still Steve then, okay? And this ain't nothing like the 80s. I'll tell you the difference, the fundamental difference between now and the 80s, in case you're somebody that thinks it's like the 80s now, where it's me, and bye. No. In the 80s, we saw a car in a movie, for example. We saw Ferrari in Magnum P.I. We saw Ferrari in Chevy Chase's Vacation with Christy Brinkley driving it, right? The 308 GTS and all that kind of stuff. We saw the DeLorean in Back to the Future, all that kind of stuff. We used to, Miami Vice, they drove fancy cars and things like that. Well, yeah, we dreamed about having those cars. We did. We dreamed about it. We bought the posters and put them on our wall. But we didn't buy one. Why? Most people didn't, because they couldn't afford it, right? Nowadays, people see something they want, they just go buy it. They just go out and get it. They have it. I see people driving down the road, got $40,000 a year jobs, driving a $180,000 vehicle. It's insane. We're playing a dangerous game with economics right now, with the math. The MIT has said it's all going to collapse fairly soon. In fact, they moved up their timetable on their math equations 10 years. Okay, so this is nothing like the 80s, and that's just one example of 1,000 I can give. I'm not going to turn this video into that. I am going to talk about the pre-shuffle, and you do need to know that this King of Wands represents societal energies right now. I said too many shifts happening. And speaking of the 80s, the King of Wands, I hope I didn't say King of Swords, I meant King of Wands. King of Wands is crossed by the 10 of Swords. That's probably why I said swords, because there's swords here. And this right here can be summed up in one thing from the 80s. It's one thing that bothered me in my childhood, that haunted me as a child who loves comic books and superheroes. In fact, I'm wearing a Justice League sweatshirt right now. I got Superman, Aquaman, right here on my chest. It is the episode of CBS used to have a show called The Hulk. Remember The Hulk? Lou Ferrigno played the Hulk. Bill Bixby played David Banner, right? Or that was his character name anyway. Anyway, this right here is their final episode. It's called The Death of the Hulk. And it really rattled a lot of comic book kids like me. Okay? And I'll tell you why. Because you got the Hulk. He was our hero. He was the Hulk, right? And he's about to fall out of a plane. And I'll never forget it. He transforms into the Hulk. We think he's going to be okay. He falls out of the plane, lands on the pavement, and dies. All right, they killed him off. I hated CBS ever since. I think it was CBS. I don't know, might have been ABC. Whatever network it was, I've hated them ever since. That said, that wouldn't have happened in the comic books. That's why it bothered us. right? Because the Hulk in the comic books got the strongest legs. He'd have just landed. It would have been fine. But no, on the TV show, he transforms, we think he's fine, he dies. He hits the pavement and dies. The same way they killed off King Kong in the 1976 movie when he fell off the Twin Towers. Anyway, my point here is this is the death of the Hulk, is what this is. This is this energy, this societal energy, this Burger King energy within your runners having a painful death. And this is a slow, painful shift, transition. It is. Because why? Well, in no small part, Saturn is in Pisces. Okay, and I did a whole reading on that, even with a fancy little graphic, right, on the thumbnail. That said, this is big energy that's happening right now. It's the death of the Hulk. It rattled children all over the world. Okay, this energy is rattling us. It's an energy that, you know, it's hard to kill. It is, because it's very superficial. It's very arrogant. It's very entitled. It's very materialistic. And it's very hard to kill that, because all of that is sort of devil energy in its own way. And it's like junk food. It's hard to get off junk food. You know, that kind of thing. Underneath this is the Seven of Wands. There's too many transitions happening at once. Okay? It's hard to keep it at bay. It's all coming at you, right? The death of the Hulk. Oh, God, now I'm going to think about that all day. Lou Ferrigno, all green, hitting the pavement at terminal velocity. My God. Okay, here we go. Right there. There's the picture of it. There's us, right there, trying to fight it back. Those of us who are high vibrational people are picking up on all this. And it's making us a little dizzy. It's making us feel a little off center. There's too many shifts happening at once. Saturn's kicking some ass, I'm going to tell you right now, but Pluto's coming to kick some ass very soon. Also, we got Mars moving in. It's around all of this. We got Mars fixing to move into Cancer, where it don't like it. It doesn't like being in Cancer. It's too, no, that's like emotional outburst kind of energy, right? Underneath all of this is this. It's Two Cups, bookending the King of Wands. It's even the devil gets right someday, right? That's what it is. It's straight up, even the devil gets right someday. It's this energy is trying to balance. We got a lot of shifts happening. We got this energy right here that I've talked extensively about getting killed. And it's a slow death, just like the old Hulk on the pavement of the on the tarmac dying. It was a slow death. All right? It's just like that, and it's tricky. The energy's trying to balance. It's all for the greater good. All right? So let it flow. I've done my best to try to explain it to you here. All right? I'm going to pull on the King of Wands, 3 cards and a bottom card. But it's important. Who else is going to tell you this shit? Who else is going to explain this stuff to you? You know, you'll hear it now because people will rip me off and go do videos and claim that this is their finding or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. But the truth is, there's just too much going on right now. It's the death of the Hulk. It really is. It is that kind of energy. Let's see where we go here. Let's find out. But also keep in mind, it's all exacerbated by energy that would be here anyway. If, let's say, all the surrounding energies were smooth as silk, we still got springtime lethargy to deal with, right? Or equinox lethargy, we'll call it. Because it doesn't matter if it's spring or fall. Fall is just the equal and opposite reaction. For example, in the springtime, for me, physically, I'm usually at my weakest. Physically, I have a lot of fatigue in the springtime. It's the opposite of when I hulk up during Scorpio season, right? At the end of the year, my abilities are fine in the spring, but they hulk up at the end of the year in Scorpio season. And most of you that have been here a while know that. But also, I get other strange aches and pains in the fall. On the opposite side, I don't have a lot of aches and pains in the spring, but in the fall, for some reason, my teeth hurt. I don't know why. It's something about the fall where it gets very dry out here. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Either way, at the end, no apparent reason. Just teeth just hurt for a couple of weeks and then it goes away. Just stops. You know. So we have that to deal with anyway. The equinox lethargy, which is happening with the energy of our bodies. So there's a lot going on here. There's too many shifts happening. The Seven of Wands in the pre-shuffle is also telling you, as I shuffle here, to keep your cool. All right? You're all right. You can stay on top of this energy. Just let it flow. Try not to do anything too crazy in this energy. Just let it flow out. When does it stop? Like I said, I mean, it's going to vary for all of you, but we at least got to get past the equinox before it's going to peak at the equinox, right? Which is around what, the 21st, something around there, and then it's going to start to wane off. It'll be gone by the time the sun comes into Taurus at around April 20th or thereabouts. All right, so let's go. Come on, universe, you got me shuffling, man. The witches are crazy today. You know, all right. My fast forwarders are already gone. They didn't want to hear. They just want to see the 3 cards hit the table. And that's fine. But, you know, I think you should want to know what's going on. Bottom card here in my 3 cards is I pull on the King of Wands, right? Remember, he was bookended by he or she was bookended by the 2 of Cups. You might remember that. This is the Queen of Cups, the most love I could pull. It's the King of Wands realizing that the cup is empty. Yeah, that we don't have cups. It's that materialistic energy side of, for example, of the King of Wands, realizing that money can't buy love, that I can buy all this shit, I can get a Ferrari, I can get a this and that, but I'm still not happy. Of course you're not. You can buy a Ferrari. Retail therapy is great. It'll make you happy for a minute. It will. You'll get bored with it quickly. You bought the Ferrari. Great, there it is. Take it for a ride a few times. After that, the novelty wears off for the most part. You just get used to it. You're just like, okay. I mean, it's fun, but it's not emotionally fulfilling. It's not. You might love the car. You might say, I love that car. But you don't. It's not the same emotion. You don't love the car, right? Unless you're one of those people, they got some kind of disorder where they hump cars. Well, in that case, fine. Maybe those people have the ability to love the automobile. I don't know. But I saw some special on that once. I know. It's crazy what's on TV. Anyway, cup is empty. All right? This is my desert queen. Let's see where we go here. 3 cards. Dissatisfaction, 4 cups. What'd I tell you? A lot of this is in the energy. I'm pulling on the energy. I'm not doing a reading on your runner. I already did a twin flame journey reading today. I'm not doing a reading on your runner. This is the energy around us. This is why we feel the way we feel. This is why you might be feeling off center and everything's off center. Here it is. I'm pulling on that King of Wands energy, which I went out of my way to explain has to do with your runner and with societal energies as a whole. And it's that disappointment. It's everything I just said around this Queen of Cups. You don't have the cups. You don't have anything. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much money he got in his pocket. He didn't bang little Blondie there. There's an energy around this, a realization of how it's just almost a shame here. It's almost a disappointment. You know, again, Saturn in Pisces is going to teach us a thing or two, right? It is. But Pisces energy is going to teach Saturn a thing or two, and it's going to adjust its lessons as it flows, like I said in that reading. What's the center card? It's crossed by the Queen of Cups, the Star. Look at that. It's time. It's divine timing. And yes, she got nice little bike shorts on for the YouTube censors. There you go. It's divine timing. This is all happening because the cup is empty. It really is. The King of Wands behavior you can't keep going. It's the example I gave you in the beginning of the difference between the 80s and now. We saw the fancy cars in the movies, but we didn't buy one if we didn't have the money. Nowadays, you can get anything you want. There's always some shit company that'll give you credit, that'll give a moron credit. And they'll go out and buy things. You know, you realize if you look up the stats, there are 2 million cars repossessed in this country on a given year. Well, it depends on the year. It's 1 to 2 million. That's a lot. It's a lot of people buying shit they can't afford. And that King of Wands energy has an expiration date, is my point. It wears out. Eventually, it catches up to you. And this is not just, I'm using credit as an example, but I'm also talking about emotions, right? That cup can only stay empty for so long. You can only buy so much shit. You can only pretend that you're happy in a bad relationship so long. This cup becomes empty. We get a lot of, that's why part of the energy right now for springtime lethargy is depression, right? It's very depressing. There's a lot of people get very depressed this time of year. There are spikes in suicide rates this time of year. It's true. And that's not exactly what's happening right now, but it's part of the energy. You know, again, this cup is empty. The Star, it's just talking about divine timing. The energy's right here. We'll do some clarifiers. What's red with the 4 of Cups? The Ten of Cups. Again, false happiness. What did I say? I read the energy first, then I pull the cards. Why am I your second favorite? I have no fucking idea. Before I even pulled this Ten of Cups, I said about this Four of Cups, which is red with the Ten of Cups. I said it's this feeling of shame and disappointment. It's all about this empty cup and all of that. It's not, the Ferrari's not fulfilling. The bad relationship is not fulfilling. All right? It's not. It's a realization this boy in blue is realizing that they're not really happy. This is all fairyland here. All right, look at this. The kids are getting along. Mom and dad are happy and shooting rainbows out their ass. I mean, that's not happy. You've all been to parks where people got their kids playing. This one here smacks this one, and so he get yelled at by this one, and then this one here. I mean, and then these two are arguing by the end of the day about something. It's not real. This isn't real. And that's what's wrong. Right now, we're adjusting. We're getting real. It's a year of restoration, okay? I predicted that already back in September of last year as part of my yearly prediction for the year ahead. And I do it early because that's when the energy started to roll in, all right? And it is. It's a year of restoration. It's a year where we come to our senses. It's a year where it's all happening in the first quarter right now. It's all starting with Saturn making its move and all of that. Uranus put the change energy in motion when it went direct, yeah. But this is big. This sets the stage. I'll tell you what. Let's clarify. Let's clarify. And the only thing I need to clarify, I've talked enough in this reading. You know, it is what it is. That's what's going on with the energy. It's what's going on in the societal energies and with the soulmate cycle energies. All right, you watch the news over the coming month. Just keep watching. You'll see it. You'll see things that were believed true prove to be lies. You'll see things that, again, people come into their senses a little bit here. All right, it's nice. It's the death of the Hulk, and the Hulk in this case is the King of Wands. All right, let's talk about the Star. Give me what you can on the Star here, universe. The most powerful card on the table here. It's very powerful. It's divine timing. All this is happening. It's destined to happen this way. I could phrase it like that. But I think the collective, well, I don't want to say the collective as a whole. I think the higher vibrational people, the growth that just talking about the soulmate cycle, the growth that the DFs have shown, and the willingness to go on the spiritual journeys and things like that, and find their self-worth and all of that, have manifested this energy in. I think that one side, and that's proved true whenever I pull a twin flame soulmate journey, where I split the DF and DM, the energy on the DF side is so much more powerful. I mean, it's a power plant compared to the other side, which is nothing. It's a sparkler, I mean, compared. I think this is manifested in. I do. Let's see. Let's see what else. Let's see what the universe thinks. What's going on with the Star here? Seven of Cups. The energy right now, because of this, because of what's happening, again, too many shifts, in my opinion, happening all at once. It's tricky to keep track of. All right? Imagine your car had 10 shifter levers, and you got to remember which one was in which gear so that you know where to shift. And there's just so much going on right now. It's confusion. It's chaos. The universe is like, right now, it's chaos. And this chaos has to happen with it crossing the Star. Okay? It has to happen. It's supposed to be this way. It has to. It's how we learn. It's a little bit of getting spanked. It's a little bit annoying if you're already a high vibrational person. But if you're a low vibrational person, you're getting spanked right now. And that's good. It's about damn time, in my opinion. All right? It is. I wrote an article a while back in my blog called Planet Earth, Spring Break Planet Earth. I talked about how old souls are passing the Earth by. They are. Nobody want to come here. Nobody wants spring break in their town, right? Nobody. I remember a while back, Pismo Beach here in California used to be awesome. We used to go up there all the time and hang out. It used to be a great place. Now it's got one of the highest crime rates in the country. It's unreal. It's absolutely mind-blowing. You got like a 1 in 20 chance of being the victim of a crime there, according to the stats. 1 in 21. It's only higher here where I live in Santa Monica, where it's 1 in 20. Okay, so which also used to be a great place. Nobody wants Low vibrational people, aka spring break in their town. It ruins it. It brings crime in, it brings the wrong people in, it leaves trash everywhere. The place ends up going to shit. Okay, it always does. It happened to Daytona too. It happened to a lot of the Florida places where spring break used to be and all that kind of stuff. A lot of old souls are passing Earth by. And so the ones that are here, they're primarily low vibration out there in the societal energies, which is why all the shit we see in the news happens, right? Which is why people believe the darndest things. But at the end of the day, those energies are getting spanked right now. And those of us who are high vibration just need to ride it out. Just ride the storm out. Again, Ariel Speedwagon showing up. Riding the storm out. What's on top? The Ace of Cups. Yeah. The emotional energies. Remember, we had the Queen of Cups crossing here originally. I talked about her cup being empty. Right here. The emotions are flowing. The cup is starting to flow. The cup is starting to get some fluid in it. Okay? Some emotion is happening. When we get emotion here, I could sum it up as an energy of coming to the senses. I really can. But here, this sums it up nicely. Why is all the chaos and confusion here with this? Why is this a byproduct, the exhaust of all of this? Well, the Two of Swords is read with this Seven of Cups here. Again, there's two truths. Only one is real. Okay? Energetically right now, we're at a crossroads. We're at a time right now of great change. We really are. Things are changing on a high level. Only one of these swords is good. The other one's all tainted and black and not real good. This is the good one over here. All right? And it's funny, it's right near the moon as well. So I think as we get closer to the new moon, I've already said when Mercury moves into Aries, we start to see some communication and things along those lines. And that's right around the new moon. All right? So what do we get here? Because, again, Mercury in Pisces is part of what's causing all of this. I pulled a reading on that. Definitely watch it. This reading will help you understand the Mercury in Pisces reading, the full moon reading, and the Saturn reading. Okay? This reading alone will help you understand it. And if you understand those readings, you don't even need this reading. You're like, I totally can understand why things feel sideways, why there's chaos in the energy, why it feels weird. What's going on? What's read with the Ace of Cups? The Five of Cups. Again, look at her, right? And yeah, she got a little top on for the sensors. Look at her. Look at the scorched earth around her. It's all being torn down. This might as well be a tower. The only reason the universe didn't give me a tower is because it wanted this person here. Because the energy is just reflecting off of that for me. And this is someone here, again, you can only go so long with empty cups. You can only go so long living life by the pinnacle, being the King of Wands, being materialistic, being ego, being whatever. The societal energies are changing, and that's changing the DMs in the soulmate cycle. It's changing the runners in the soulmate cycle. The DFs, well, you're going to feel this. You're going to feel very emotional. You're going to feel weird. It's fine. The higher vibrational people, quite frankly, the ones that have done the work, whether they're DF or DM, are, we all suffer. And we're all just going to have to deal with this energy, but we're not the ones getting, the higher vibrational people are not getting spanked. It goes to the old adage, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. All right? It is. And those weak links are getting dealt with within this energy. And will they change? Will we see this utopia at the end of it all? No, of course not. There's always going to be weak links. And as long as there's just one, it's never going to be a perfect world like this card kind of depicts here. But there's always a period of adjustment. The cup's gotten too empty. That Queen of Cups cup has gotten too empty. In fact, it's been filled with sand and it's getting all rusty and it's awful. Okay? So this is what's going on right now. These cards all back up the pre-shuffle. Everything I've told you is what I believe to be true within the energy, and I'm experiencing it myself, and the people around me are. Even people that don't believe in what we do here are. The friends that I have that think this is all nonsense, even they're noticing the energy. Okay? So you can't help but notice this. It's what's going on, and this is a very fitting card, this Seven of Cups of chaos, and it's just an energy of confusion, really. It really is, around that star, around what's happening right now. See if there's anything else the universe wants to tell you. I'll pull it from the Light Seer, just for fun. What else you want to say before I go, universe? Give me one card and a crossing card. So be cool in this energy. It's okay. You're fine. Unless you're a low vibrational person, then be very afraid. Okay? Because it's time to start looking at some things. It's time to look at the cup, and it's time to be this girl if you're low vibrational. Right? I don't get a lot of low vibrational people watching me. They're the trolls that thumbs down a video before they even play it. I've got there's about 100 people that show up, and just before they even play the video, they just click a thumbs down and then they go away. You know, they watch like 3 seconds of it. That's it. That's what they do. You know, those people, you know, they aren't listening to any of this anyway. It doesn't matter. You're never going to help them. You know, you're not. What does a great comedian, Ron White, say? I say he's great because he's from the South, of course. He says you can't fix stupid. And you can't. You can't. You can't make somebody go on a spiritual journey. The universe, the energy can offer the opportunity for people to go on it, but it's up to their free will. It's up to their free will. Nobody forced to do anything. You know? So it is what it is. What's going on here? Give me one card and a crossing card. Yeah, I see the bottom one. 8 swords. Crossed by the Ace of Wands. A whole lot of shifts going on all at once. It's like a fireworks display. Not only a fireworks display, it's like the grand finale of a fireworks display. And it's creating, whoa, look at this. I was just about to say a 2 of Swords type energy because the 2 of Swords came out here. I accidentally left the 2 of Swords when I picked this up. It's unreal. So it's creating this. This 8 of Swords felt like a 2 of Swords to me, but it doesn't matter. If it feels like everything's crazy right now, just be cool. Allow this energy to play out. It's fine. And if it gives you something to look at, right? We've been talking a lot lately about how there's one, even on the DF side, there's one thing, the universe, Saturn will try to show you things. Just look at it. Allow it. Don't get in your head about it. Just, again, this is a choice. This is minor arcana. Your reaction to this energy being these 2 cards right here, swatting at the crows, and this, 8 of Swords. That's a choice. We decide how we react to things. We do. Okay? That power is within us. Control your space. Control the energy around you. That's why I do these readings. If you know what's going on, you shouldn't be like this. It should prevent this, as long as you know what's going on, right? It's no different than getting a weather forecast, and it's no different than going to the doctor. You always feel better when you find out what's wrong, rather than, the up at night worrying and worrying and worrying, and it might be this, it might be that. But no matter what the doctor tells you, and when you know what it is, at least then you can take it and deal with it from there. So there's no need in this energy for you to be like this. I'm telling you what it is. All right? That's it. There's a lot happening all at once. It's a major firework. It's unreal. It's a fireworks display, but it's all for the greater good. Again, the universe says that with the 6 of Swords. This is chaos over here. It's all going to smooth out. And at the end of it all, you'll see it's much calmer waters, after we're done with all this. All right, that's your reading. I hope it was helpful. All right, I hope I didn't traumatize any comic book kids out there like myself with the memory of the Hulk dying on a tarmac. I apologize if I brought that back. I do. I know I'm going to be stuck with it all day now. All right, that's your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you like this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the subscribers, everybody who shares, and everybody who watches. All right, it's going to be a very interesting Friday reading and weekly reading over the next couple of days. We'll see what happens with those. For now, I put up a Twin Flame Journey a little earlier. Go check that out. Okay? And definitely watch the Saturn reading, of course, and all that. All right, good luck.